Ghana's total export contracted by 7.8% year-on-year to $14.5 billion in 2020 was driven mainly by a significant decline of $1.6 billion in crude oil exports receipts on the back of low prices. The country's gold and cocoa export earnings, on the other hand, went up by 9.1% and 2.1% respectively due to favorable prices and production volumes. The central bank, which made this known, said total imports went down by $974 million to $12.4 billion, underpinned by significant declines in both oil and non-oil imports. Consequently, the trade balance recorded a lower surplus of $2.0 billion, 3.0% of gross domestic product in 2020, compared with $2.3 billion, which is equivalent to 3.4% of GDP in 2019. According to the Bank of Ghana, the foregoing developments were occasioned by commodity price developments which impacted on the trade balance. Commodity price trends traded mixed in 2020, influenced by COVID-related global market conditions. Crude oil prices declined by 22.9% year-on-year in December 2020, driven mainly by weak demand. Crude oil prices averaged $50.2 per barrel compared to $65.2 per barrel a year ago. In contrast, gold prices went up by 25.4% to an average of $1,857.2 per fine ounce, strongly supported by accommodative monetary policy, increased uncertainty and the global economic slowdown due to the pandemic. Cocoa prices averaged $2,581.3 per ton in December 2020 and up by 2.5% on the year-on-year basis. The BOG continued that the current account recorded a deficit of $2.0 billion, which is equivalent to 3.0% of GDP, compared with a deficit of $1.9 billion. In 2019, due to the lower trade surplus and higher services overflows, which was moderated by the strong remittance inflows of $3.6 billion and lower net investment income overflows, notably profit and dividends. Cumulatively, it said the cedi depreciated by 3.9% against the US dollar in 2020, compared with a depreciation of 12.9% in 2019. The cedi also depreciated by 7.1% against the pound and 12.1% against the euro, compared with 15.7% and 11.2% over the same comparative period.
The petitioner, Mr. John Mahama, in the election 2020 petition trial, has filed another witness statement at the Supreme Court. The witness statement of Mr. Robert Joseph Metal Nunu was filed on Thursday, January 4, 2021. This brings to 3 witness statements filed so far by the petitioner, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. Mr. Mahama, through his lawyers, had earlier filed 2 witness statements by Mr. Johnson Asiedun Ketia, General Secretary of the NDC, and Mr. Michael Gbesa White, a member of the party. The 2 had had their statements adopted in evidence, and they had been cross-examined by the lawyers of the 2 respondents, Madam Jane Mensah and His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Mr. Mahama had gone to court challenging the validity of the results of the Electoral Commission, declaring Nana Addo Dankwa as the winner of election 2020. He has accused the EC of vote pardon, whereas the EC has also denied the assertion on vote pardon. The trial is expected to resume on Friday, 5th February 2021.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has been reappointed for a second term as chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Heads of State of the authority at its extraordinary session held on February 2, 2021, via video conference decided by general consensus that President Akufo-Addo will continue as ECOWAS chairman for 1 more year. An ECOWAS communique issued at the end of the conference said President Akufo-Addo is to oversee the implementation of institutional reforms relating to enhanced financial management and internal control of the institution. Present at the summit were 14 ECOWAS heads of state, namely Rochma Christian Kabore, President of Burkina Faso, George Carlos de Almeida Fonseca, President of the Republic of Cape Verde; Alhassan Ouattara, President of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire; Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana; Professor Alpha Conde, President of the Republic of Guinea; Umaru Sissoco Embalo, President of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau; and George Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia. The rest are Macky Sall, President of the Republic of Senegal; Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone; Faure Gnassingbé, President of Togolese Republic; Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria; Brigi Rafini, Prime Minister of the Republic of Niger; Moktar Wayne, Prime Minister of Transition of the Republic of Mali; and Ireline Agbenonsi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Benin. The session was also attended by His Excellency Jean-Claude Kassibori, President of ECOWAS Commission. The session, chaired by President Akufo-Addo, was in preparation for the 34th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the African Union on the election of the new management team of the African Union Commission. The communique disclosed that the heads of state and government took note of the memorandum on the selection of the chairperson of the African Union for the 2022 to 2023 period and the proposed mechanism for the nomination of countries in coming years. They also took note of the report of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers on the harmonization of member states' applications for positions in international organizations. Lastly, the heads of state and government took note of the memorandum on the implementation of the ECOWAS institutional reform.
UK residents returning from coronavirus hotspots abroad will have to quarantine in hotels from 15th February, the government has confirmed. Hotel owners will be asked to provide rooms for more than 1,000 new people every day. Documents suggest passengers would have to stay in their rooms for 10 nights, with security guards accompanying if they go outside. Quarantine hotels are expected to be set up near airports including Heathrow, Gatwick, London City, Birmingham, Bristol, Manchester, Edinburgh, Glasgow and Aberdeen. The rules will apply to UK nationals and residents returning to the country from 33 red list COVID-19 hotspots, including several South American and African countries where new COVID variants have been detected in large numbers of people, and passengers will be expected to pay for the cost of the accommodation. Most high nationals from high-risk countries already face UK travel bans. Ministers are also likely to increase the fines for people who break the rules. Home Office sources have said they expect fines will have a deterrent effect, so traveller numbers are likely to fall from 1,000 a day swiftly. Guests will have 3 meals a day in their rooms, with tea, coffee, fruits and water being available. A Department of Health spokesperson said it was working at pace to roll out managed quarantine facilities in the run-up to 15th February. In the face of new variants, it is important that the government continues to take the necessary steps to protect people and save lives, they said. The department says it sent commercial specifications on Thursday evening to hotels near air and seaports asking for proposals on delivering quarantine facilities ahead of formal contracts being awarded. The government is expected to set out further details next week on how passengers will be available to book into the designated hotels. But the Conservatives described the plan as implausible, arguing it will mean putting around 20,000 people in hotels every day. A further 915 people have died within 28 days of a positive coronavirus test in the UK, according to the government's daily figures. This brings the total number of people to die within 28 days of a positive COVID-19 test to 110,250.